From the heart of Stampede Country, this is Ride and Rally. Right. The podcast for diehard fans of the Calgary Stampeders, breaking down the games, the players, the rivalries, and everything happening in red and white. Settle up, because it's time to ride and rally. Touchdown!
Welcome to Ride and Rally. It's a great day, it's fun to be back with you all. I'm here with my co-host.
Hello, it's Matt.
And today we have a lot of things to talk about. The last couple of weeks, a lot has happened. Going to start off with the draft that happened last week and kind of go through some of the players and maybe potential roles that they're going to have on our team. So I'm going to start off with our first round pick. Obviously, Eric Rasko, linebacker, great college career, looking really good, looking promising. He's 25 years old. He's pro ready. Reports say he's pro ready. So it's exciting because our depth at that position, I'm not too sure of yet. We have a couple of guys, obviously, but he could definitely come into this season and automatically have a decent role with our team. Also, led the indoor football league in tackles, only played 4 games in that league, but had 38 tackles in a 4-game period. Not sure how important that is because it's indoor football league, but it's something.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited because we definitely needed linebacker, in my opinion. That was the position. I wasn't really too fussed about who we got. The draft for the CFL. It's its own thing, And I just wanted a linebacker or defensive line, and we got that a great linebacker. It looks like. So I think he'll definitely get some minutes there and some downs. So yeah.
Yeah, like to go through all these rookies, I don't think that they're going to have a prominent role. Most of these guys, I see 2 or 3 guys having somewhat of a role to start the season off, and Rasko has the possibility to have the biggest role out of all the rookies. Definitely, as CFL drafts go, in my opinion, it was definitely a strong draft. A lot of good players in the draft, and we got some. But yeah, I could see him mostly starting. We're going to have Markel Lee. We're going to have, give me a second, I have my projected starter role here. So in my opinion, as linebackers go, you're going to have Markel Lee. You're going to have middle linebacker will be Kyle Wilson. He kind of played a few games last year, did some good things, but Kyle Wilson will definitely have the starting role to begin with. And then you have Micah Tights, who I believe will start the year as a starter. So Rasko is definitely going to have opportunities, and he's going to have to make the most of the opportunities to carve out a bigger role. Injuries come into factor too, in my opinion. That also might give him a bigger role. But my key depth pieces are, you got Derek Moncrief as well. He's listed as a DB, but he plays kind of.
Yeah, last season he was more a linebacker. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Derek Moncrief's going to have a big role in our team as well. We also have, obviously Rasko, and you have a guy who's played not too much, but he had a role kind of for a few games last year, Maurice Blackwell Jr. He showed off some stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't see him carving out a big enough role. Maybe special teams.
Yeah, maybe special. We'll definitely see him. I think he'll definitely get minutes. It won't be one of those situations where it's just a rookie who shows up to training and then that's about it.
Exactly, yeah. So out of the rookies, Eric Rasko, he's got the most opportunity to carve out a big role for us, in my opinion. I could see him actually gaining like 45, 50 tackles by the end of the season. Maybe, anywhere from 10 to 12 special teams tackles, a couple sacks. Like I have him having a a decent role by the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
But on to other rookies here that I think have decent chance. It's going to be D-line. So we're going to have a very, like a rotational, like a D-line rotation. We're going to have 6-7 guys rotating. As rookies go, I think the guy out of Colorado, Tristan Maros,
Or Marois.
Marois, yeah.
Might
I
be
believe
French.
he's actually French-Canadian as well.
For
So
sure.
he's going to have the Canadian,
That's always good. Yeah.
because, you know, as far as people know, maybe they don't know, there's a 45-man roster at the end of the day. Teams go down to 45 men. 21 out of those 45 guys have to be Canadian. So it's always important to draft, you know, free agents wise, to have that Canadian. You want that Canadian thing going, right? You need that talent, the Canadian talent. So he's going to bring Canadian talent. I think he could carve out a rotational role, this guy from Colorado. And I think he could actually be quite important, whether it's special teams, early downs, late down. Like, I think he's going to carve out a role here.
Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah.
We'll see. He didn't really play much with Colorado. I think he has 3 tackles as college goes. So he didn't, but he's a big man. He speed-wise, he's very fast. So coming up from the outside, he's going to match well with the defensive linemen we already have. So yeah, exciting rookie. I think potential's there, and it's a developmental thing too, right? You're not necessarily expecting a guy to come in and have 50, 60 tackles and 10 sacks in his first season. You want to see the growth. You want to see him develop into maybe that kind of guy eventually. So yeah, so he's gonna have some sort of role. The rookie receivers we have now are going to be exciting. We've got Matt Sibley, who's actually played in Calgary with the University of Calgary Dinos. As far as talent goes, like, he's got talent. We're pretty stacked at receiver right now, so I don't know how much of a role he's going to carve when he first comes here. I'm expecting special teams, maybe even on and off the practice roster.
That's probably what I'm expecting. Yeah, practice roster, like you just said, we're stacked at receiver. We didn't need any receivers really, and obviously, yeah, Sibley, you know, 5th round in the CFL draft. I don't see him getting much time. Same with Oju Taleo. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, he's a higher pick as well. So if we're gonna see anyone, it'll be him.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more. He's a little bit more pro ready. I don't think he is pro ready, but he's a little bit more pro ready. I could see him, you know, if injuries occur or whatever, like, I could see him coming in before Sibley.
Sibley, yeah. I think it's good. Yeah, it's good that we got Sibley. Obviously, like you just said, hometown kid. So I think that's part of it as well, and that's always good to see.
Exactly. Other rookies we drafted 2 offensive linemen. In my perspective, my projections, I don't see them touching the field really, these offensive linemen. So you got Mitchell Scherzinger. I butchered the name, I'm so sorry, but I don't see him maybe dressing 1 to 2 games, but I don't see him hitting the field much at all. He's probably the better, again, most pro-ready offensive lineman we drafted this year.
Yep.
But I think we have our 5 guys. We have our starting offensive linemen, and we're going to roll with those guys.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Jack Warwick from Saskatchewan Huskies. He's a total developmental project, in my opinion. He's got the raw skill, in my opinion. He has the potential to be a good lineman, but right now, in my opinion, he's a total developmental project. So practice roster will be best case scenario if he even makes the team, to be honest with you. But yeah, so those are the rookies we drafted. There is a lot of excitement. Eric Rasko is obviously the most exciting pick, in my opinion, just because he's so like game ready, he's so pro ready that the role he could carve out is exciting to me. Like I could see him not necessarily this year, but within the next year or two, kind of develop into maybe what Alex Singleton was at one point. Like I could see him being that good. He was that good in Angelo State in Div 2 college, basically dominated college. I know it's Div 2, but they put out a really good product Div 2, and a lot of good players come out from Div 2 that never get the opportunity in the NFL that probably deserve to be in the NFL. So he's the most exciting prospect in my opinion. What do you think, Matt? Like out of who we drafted, who you saw?
Yeah, I like Rasko. I mean, he's our highest pick. He picked 6. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be the one that we get to see the most, and obviously by that we're gonna like what we see. I'm sure. Where he'll fit, that's interesting. Like say special teams, or if he's gonna. I think as the season goes on, that's when you see the development and find a place as practice goes on and games go on. He'll find his spot, and I think he'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. People were saying that it was a reach when we drafted him at 6th because he was like on a lot of boards. He was ranked like 20th, 24th. The problem is when you don't have a second round draft pick and you don't pick until the 3rd round, 26th and 27th overall. If you really like this guy, you kind of have to take him in the 1st round because there is a chance that that guy is going to be gone by the time you pick next. So in these cases, I think reaching for a guy is acceptable and it's good because, like I said, with you go for like 20 picks without a pick, that guy with the raw talent, such pro-ready linebacker, and the most important thing is he did not draw NFL. And NFL teams didn't approach him, wasn't drafted by the NFL. So come day 1, game 1, he's putting it all out there for you. You have him.
Yeah, and that was not like last year with, we knew we wouldn't keep Alfred for so long, and we only got 1 season out of him. So
yeah, it was a fun season for sure.
Yeah, but I think Rasko, like you said, it's more of a long-term thing.
Yeah, and just so you know, we did actually sign all our draft picks. So after the draft, we have everyone's signed now. So we've locked them in, and whether they're developmental talent or pro game day ready, we have those guys now. So that's exciting. Now on to other things here. We have some big news coming out of the CFL. It kind of caught me off guard, didn't expect it. But starting next year, we have a new playoff format. So now going forward, 8 teams will make the playoffs out of 9. You have a play-in, which will be 5 versus 8, 6, and 7. Also, at the same time the play-in's happening, you have the 1 and 2 seed competing. Now, the thing that gets interesting, and I'm going to ask Matt here what his thoughts are in a bit here once I've told you how it works here. But the winners of the play-in will play the losers of the 1 and 2 seed. So even though you're a 1 or a 2 seed, you'll have like 2 chances. So even if you lose that game, you will be able to play the winner of the play-in, your chance to get to the semifinals. The winner of the 1 versus 2 will automatically go into the semifinals. So I don't know if I love this in general. It's going to definitely the playoffs are going to become more exciting, in my opinion. Their revenue purposes, they're trying to make more money for the league, make it a bit more exciting, which I think it will. My worry is the integrity of the regular season. You have 8 teams out of the 9 making it. So how important? I guess you're still going to have teams fighting for. They want that 1-2 seed, but how important is it going to be? Like if they start getting injuries, this, that, like how's it all going to work out? That's my only concern. Because as far as the playoffs go, as far as the play-in goes, that's definitely going to bring more excitement to the playoffs and create more playoff games, which will create more revenue for the league in general. So that's all positive. What's your thoughts on that? Like, do you like the playoff format?
I think, yeah, it is a good idea, and it's very well thought out. But I just it's too early in the leagues. I don't know. Like we said, 8 out of 9 teams is the league's not big enough. You need at least 12 to be doing this kind of thing. Like you can't have you need at least 4 teams not making playoffs. Like this is like regular season is essentially a very long preseason, and then playoffs is playoffs, which is that'll be fun, but it omits anything that goes on in the regular season. And I think becoming first in an entire league, it's a marathon, and it's difficult. In like European sports, to win the division, it's like winning the marathon. You have it's a long, drawn out thing, and then tournament football or tournament whatever tournament sports it's a different game. And playoffs is like tournament football. So I think regular season is now a giant preseason, and I think it's just too early for me. The league isn't big enough, and it's not ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that. It's also hard to argue it won't work because we haven't seen it in person. I think we need to actually see a full season of this, see how it turns out, and then we'll be able to judge better. I will tell you, I'm not really looking at it as a playoff now going forward. In my opinion, it's more of a tournament. It's like a bracket. So you have 8 teams now. It's like more of a bracket tournament style. Other than looking at it as a playoff format, I'm kind of looking at it as a tournament style thing.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. I'm not too.
I just don't like there's no jeopardy in. I mean, it's embarrassing to be the one team that's not in the playoffs, but there's no jeopardy. There's no, the chances of being that one team is so low, and you can have a pretty bad season still.
You're gonna have 5-6 wins.
Exactly, and you can, be a dog in the playoffs and somehow get through all this. I like I said, regular season just becomes a giant preseason and mostly irrelevant.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard to argue that. We're gonna have to see how it works out when it actually comes to fruition, and next year when it actually happens, in my opinion. But it's definitely interesting. The other thing that they did, which I actually like, and I actually praise the commissioner on, is starting the regular season on Victoria Day long weekend, so middle of May. I think that's actually a good idea. You'll be able to finish 2-3 weeks earlier, so you're not too much concerned about like extreme cold, Grey Cups, and so that I'm totally for. I like that idea.
Definitely. Weather-wise, it makes more sense. I'm already ready to watch football. It's nice outside here in Calgary, and I could watch a game today.
Yeah.
So instead of in middle of October, so I'd rather.
Fully agree with you. And actually, somebody brought this up to me, and it's kind of interesting. So now we have the CFL draft just after the NFL draft, right? So a top prospect is being drafted in the NFL. Now, when the season kicks off 3 weeks earlier, you'll have the CFL draft before the NFL draft. Now, you'll have highly praised guys expected to be drafted in the NFL. What do? Do you draft that guy before he's actually been drafted in the NFL? Or do you pass on him and just see where it goes? Because right now, they've already been drafted in the NFL by the time we draft. So and we saw this year a couple of guys falling right till the end of the draft, and one guy that was supposed to be really, really good didn't even get drafted.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be. Because if you're having a high pick, you want to make sure you're getting that guy. Like for the Red Blacks this year, for example, the guy they've got him, and he's going to work for them. You got the guy. You got a dedicated rookie. I think that's awesome. That's what you want when you get the first pick. Hell yeah.
No, I agree. And like even us, we know we got Rasko, so we know he's going to be with us. He's not signed with a futures contract, or he didn't get outright drafted. So yeah, that makes it important. But yeah, I think even now going forward, even if the guy is expected to get drafted, I think you got to let him fall a little bit, because if he does, he's gone. Like even if he just maintains a practice roster role in the NFL, like he's probably gone 2 to 3 years, and you don't have him. By the time he comes up, he's probably 25, 27.
Well, he might have gone through injuries and certain things. He's not the player you drafted. They're different. Exactly. They're a different player.
Good point. So yeah, that's also interesting, intriguing, and we'll see how that works. But yeah, in general, playoff format is a wait and see for me. I don't know too much about it yet. It has I don't hate it, and it seems interesting to me. And I know why they did it is because they're trying to get all the revenue they can with this league, right? They want all the revenue possibilities in the process, thinking that it's going to bring more excitement.
Yeah.
But here's a question for you. For the loyalists of this league, they're trying to bring in youth. They're trying to bring in young people to the sport. But to the loyalists that know this game from day one, guys who've been following this league for 50 years and plus, they don't like these rule changes. They think that what they're doing, that's commissioner, he's doing to this game is a disgrace. How can you possibly, thinking here, how can you possibly put it in a way where you can get these loyalists kind of not lose them and maintain their audience?
Yeah, no, obviously it's a long question with a very, very long answer. But yeah, to keep it brief, I think those loyalist fans aren't there forever, and sometimes leagues do have to develop. And I can see what the commission is trying to do, especially with how popular the NFL is. So it's not a sport problem; it's a league problem. And this Canadian football is slightly different to American football. So, I think it's worth making a few changes, but there is a lot, and certain sacred changes shouldn't be made at, like the 55 yards, 110 yards, whatever. People are very passionate about that one. They don't want to change that. And so I do understand loyalists, and their qualms. Yeah. So too many changes, yes, but I think you need to adapt. Adaptation is evolution, and this league does need to grow in popularity, especially with the younger people. There's a lot of old heads in the stands, and you need the young kids there. You need generations of fans. You go to, an NHL game, which is obviously very popular in Canada and stuff. So you got everyone there. You got children. You got children to their grandparents. So yeah, CFL needs to get everyone involved and have a huge fan base.
Yeah,
essentially grow the fan base.
No, I totally agree. And to be honest, I do like a lot of the new stuff he's going to implement. I like the time clock change and the Rouge. I like how the Rouge, you're not going to be getting 1 point for a missed field goal. I like the time clock going to 35 seconds. But within the first half and the second half, within the 3-minute warning. So once you get to the 3-minute warning, it will go back to 20 seconds. So you won't be able, the main frustration or thought was, well, if it goes to 35 seconds within the last 3 minutes, the whole integrity of the game is going to be screwed up because you'll be able to waste a lot more time. But they have said that when they get to the 3-minute warning, it will go back to 20-second play clock. So you won't be able to kill all the time off. It will still be the great CFL 3-minute game we're used to and known to have.
Yeah, that's definitely huge excitement. That's a big deal for me with the CFL. That last 3 minutes is always intense, especially on a close game. Anything can happen.
Exactly. You can basically, score 2-3 times, like that makes it exciting. But yeah, no, the Rouge, they're getting rid of this year, and fully agree with that. You can still get the Rouge on a punt.
Which that's great.
kickoffs.
Yeah, and that's great. That's greatly Canadian. I keep that. I think we should keep that. But yeah, like you said, the missed field goal, you shouldn't be rewarded for a missed kick.
Exactly, and I'm fully aware, and I know that's the Canadian game. People will say, loyalists will say, that's the Canadian game. That's how it's been for. Why change it? Because, like you said, we have to evolve. We have to create these new things to make the game better. And when people are watching from the States and from these places, they think that our game is a joke because it's like, okay, I know it doesn't happen a lot, but like you're tied up, last second of the game, the guy doesn't even have to make the field goal.
It has happened.
And it has happened.
It has happened.
And you can win by a single. So I definitely agree with removing the Rouge, the single, on field goal kicks. What I'm not so sure of is, well, the goalposts moving to the back, I agree with fully because I think it's a hazard.
It's a unique part, and it's almost like an extra man because you have to, and it has.
So I definitely think that that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, certain, again, like we've been saying, it's certain rules are good, but I think there's a limit to the rules. They need to, pick their battles. Put it that way with the fan base. Yeah, soft changes, I think, is the right way.
Exactly. And another rule change, since we're talking about this quickly here, is they're going to get rid of the 55-yard line. They're going to make it 50 yards, 100 yards length, like the NFL. But the thing they're doing is they're going to maintain the width is going to be the same. So we will have maintained the extra man on the field, which I think is crucial because that's having 12 man on the field it makes it Canadian, having that extra man.
And the widths. I do like the width of the field.
So not too worried. Yeah, is it a little disappointing that we're going to 100 yards? Yeah, in all fairness, that's disappointing. We're making it more Americanized. I understand it all. But I think we have more things to come, better things to come. And as far as expansions go, stuff like this, I do see within the next few years, I think a 10th team does come into the league, especially now with the playoffs being 8 teams. I think even adding one team will make that better, in my opinion.
Yeah, even one team. 10 is a nice number. 9 is an awful number.
Yeah, 9.
And we've got to have the crossover and all these things. That, again, people could say that's uniquely Canadian, but no. I'm neither Canadian or American, so I don't care about national rules. I don't care. So for me, whatever makes the game better is that's it. That's all I care about.
Exactly, me too. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap things up here now. So really excited about the rookie class, the guys we got. So yeah, really excited with the guys we got. Really excited about what's to come this year, and we'll see. We will have our third guy in the upcoming episodes. We have a whole segment for him. He's going to be an integral part of this podcast. So thank you so much. We ride and rally together. Stamps forever. Have a great week.
That's ends another episode of Ride and Rally. If you bleed red and white like we do, make sure to subscribe, share the show, and follow along all season as we ride with the Calgary Stampeders. Until next time, keep the saddle tight, keep the faith, and we'll see you at McMahon's.